United States from the prestigious Mandela Washington Fellowship, and he is fresh. And he gave his own contribution for this program that he must hold. So that is Bill Aga. So those of you who will be in Bafusam, you are in Form 5 or Form 4 or Lower 6 or Upper 6, get connected to us. Let us register you for TIC Summit, so that when they ask you to describe a science project that you carried out, you will not be lost, all right? So Bafusam, my students in school qualified for TIC Summit. They went, but they didn't win the finals. They did not win at the final stage, but they went to TIC Summit in Yaoundé, and they got presidential treatment. They were lodged in hotels. Their hotels had TVs and good food for a number of days. And they came back. They all had 5 papers. All those I traveled with to Yaoundé, thanks to TIC Foundation, and TIC Summit gave that. So those of you who are still here in high school, make sure you ask me about when TIC Summit is launched. Be part of it, so that you will not be stuck like my sister Betty. Thank you. So vividly, another picture while Joyce get ready. Put the next picture. I want to still thank so much. The next person, please. Look at somebody. This is Reverend Harmony Gafferson, my father, mentor, and coach, and he's right here in person. The person who has been behind the student symposium. We can't thank him enough. All the scholarships that have been coming out every day, from the Eureka to the Falling Abroad, Falling Bush, is thanks to him. Please celebrate him. He's right here with us. Next person, please, first. I just want to say that the pictures were not there. Look at somebody. This is Bless Boomer. Please celebrate Bless Boomer, the co-founder of Open Dreams. This was a person that got the first scholarship sponsored by someone. He traveled to the United States, and then when he got there, he met Hans, or he met Christina. Yes, Christina, I couldn't get a picture right now. Christina Colbert, he met Hans Colbert. They decided to sponsor people like you to get opportunities to study abroad. Hans has gotten he went to Bamenda, GBHS Bamenda, got 25 points and traveled to the United States. It was through him that Open Dream was birthed. Are we together? So that is Hans, Bless Boomer. I'm sure even Joyce can say more about Bless Boomer. So much you can say a little bit about Bless Boomer. Go to Hans' picture, please. So Bless Boomer, we are saying thank you for making your idea to become a reality. Because of that is Hans. Please celebrate Hans Colbert. He is a white. With a wife. I couldn't get a picture right now. Maybe Joyce has it. He can get it during her presentation. They are trying to make you achieve your dreams. They don't know you, but they know your stories. They don't want you to be left out. They don't want you to be left out. He is there doing everything in the U.S. He's in California. Santiago. He is there. He is doing everything to make sure you get the best you can. If only you can dream, then you will understand that it pays to apply. Say, it pays to apply. Say, it pays to apply. And if you give up, you finish it now. If you give up, good. And please, Mr. Anwar, just come 1 minute. And I want you to also celebrate Mr. Anwar Franklin. He is a teacher of geology and science. He has been working with me tirelessly to make sure no student is left out wherever they are. So he's right there. He collaborates with me so great. Please celebrate him for his relentless effort. And equally, there is someone here, Madame Khan Felicia. She also has been so instrumental in Open Dreams West region. Please celebrate her too. These are teachers that need awards. They do everything in the little corner to make sure no student is left behind. They will keep telling you, apply, apply. It is possible. And yes, it is possible. Are you still hungry to get some more? I have somebody in the house. I am so proud, and she's from the West region, but she has toyed the world. She has gone far and wide, high, not low, Hi and hi. So she's right here, and after some few days, she'll be taking over again. I am very certain about that. If you have never seen people with scholarship, you meet them in Open Dreams. In fact, you are at Open Dreams, you are talking with somebody who has his visa in his pocket. The other day, I was talking with one other student. Please just come. Are you ready now? Good. I was talking with another student. He's going to Mauritius. And we talked when we our left, and I was going to my room to sleep. He just sent me a text, sir. I got my Mauritius scholarship and I'll be traveling. Da, 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 da. I said, like, seriously? Yes. At Open Dreams, people sleep with your visas. They go to bed they go to take their bath with their visas. It is no longer a myth anymore. It is a reality. And that is why the kids that went for the Chevron engineering program, they said it pays to apply. Even in lower six where you are now, you can travel overseas for free. Are we together? And Emmanuel, never forget to keep reminding me. One of my mentees just got the mechatronics master scholarship to Ashesi. So never forget to remind me or connect you both. He applied 3 times, and he keep updating his application. And guess what? His younger sister is going for undergrad at Ashesi, and he, as an elder brother, is going for graduate at Ashesi. What a blessing to be part of Open Dreams. It was yours. Yours will not be different. It starts from you taking action by applying. Mr. Neba said a whole lot. I don't want to go into it. But for the moment, put your hands together as we welcome Ma'am Joyce Ngaha to come and inspire you. After that, we are going for a short break. You have some things to eat. If you are hungry, if you are not, no problem. I can eat your share. And so it's okay. It's okay. So those who came late, thank you for coming. You did well by coming late. Tomorrow we'll start at 10 a.m. till 5 p.m. because the scholars and much. And by the time Joyce gets finished with her presentation, you eat the little thing, I'll be welcoming the Turk entrepreneur who studied only in Cameroon and has traveled so many countries, won many awards at home and abroad. He is a millionaire while studying even in Cameroon. Who say village people are stopping people? You are the one stopping yourself. No village people anywhere. And thank God you are in church where Reverend Harmony, the Christ man, he will pray for you. And I just want to take this opportunity to invite anyone who does not yet believe in God to start believing in God. To start believing in God. My life got transformed, and I started transforming other people's life because I believe in God. It is good to believe in God. Your dreams are too big that you will not be able to fulfill it if you don't trust God. And my Bible says, with God, all things are possible. And someone will say, even me, in my own case, yes. In 1 year, 2 children from one home are getting fully funded scholarship to the same university. And even in our school, 2 twins travel together to the same university, to the same school, and it pays to apply. Mr. Neighbor said, believe in yourself. Tell your neighbor, say, believe in yourself. And you're not saying it well. Where is the self? Point, say, believe in yourself. Okay, yes, I'll just be talking while her PowerPoint is ready. Believe in yourself. Are we together? It starts with you believing. And you may not get a scholarship at the undergrad. That means at the first degree level. It's fine. You can still get it at the master's degree level. I'm talking about Chinda Wakam, but from Bafusam. He went through Baleng High School and then went through Catholic University. And today he is in China doing his master's degree in scholarship, fully funded. And he had about 3 scholarships that year. And he was just part of what we are talking about, that we are talking now. And today he's in China. We are doing the mentorship for China and Hong Kong online. We started 2 weeks ago. We were there on Sunday again. And next Sunday we are still on for undergraduate and graduate students, for people who love China. China is a nice place. A beautiful country. So, while she's getting ready, ask me any question. Any question. Yes, Mike. What's the question? Anything. The scholarship and community engagement. Any question? Someone should, yes. Any question? Yes, please. Tim, go ahead.
Good morning, sir, or good afternoon. I'm Tim Afumbom. You probably know me, I think. I wanted to ask, how can you go about the community engagement?
Put it like this, down a bit.
I wanted to ask, how can you
Yes.
go about the community engagement?
Okay, I'll answer that question by calling some two girls to come and tell us how we can go about community engagement. Yes, you two, please come. Yes. Please, I want to just use them as an example. Come on, come, please come. Yes. How did you come about going to orphanages, raising money to buy books, to go and give orphans? How did you come about that?
I just decided to give back to my community.
Okay. You just decided to give back to my community. As simple as possible.
Well, when I began with student symposium.
When we began.
Yes,
Oh,
when we began with the student symposium, that was when I was in Form 5. In Lower Seed, I got my first scholarship, the Riga. Then, that was a very tough moment because I just left Bamenda, and with the finances, the hardship, me not going to school for some years, it really affected me. So meeting Mr. Angolefa here present and getting that scholarship, I thought to myself that no, I need to give it back to some of my brothers and sisters still that way, and some orphans, because I'm an orphan of a parent, my dad. I lost my dad when I was 1. So I thought of giving back, and that's just the main idea behind everything. Giving back to my community.
Good.
As I had a helping hand and my lowest, I've decided to lift others as I lift myself, and I keep growing.
So yes, anything to say? 1 minute. How did you work? How did you guys come with the idea of like, okay, yes, first place.
Okay, since last year we got our first scholarship because it wasn't easy for us to go to school, continue our studies, and during our application process, I decided personally that if I get the scholarship, I myself will try my best to help others too. And we came up with the idea of going and helping the orphans since they have many difficulties. That's how we did.
Tim, did I answer that question?
And that's not all. We are moving on to phase 2, which is mainly powered by helping girls in Bamenda, because the rate at which girls are becoming pregnant in that region is really increasing. And this symposium, I'm using the knowledge here in order to impact their life, open opportunities to them so they can know more about the scholarship.
No more teenage pregnancy. Yes, no more. So your passion could be different, all right? It could be different. You could decide to do your engagement even online. Like you want to be using graphic designs to stop some kind of illicit behaviors or to pass a message across, okay? You can decide even in school to clean the office of at least one administrator a week. Is community engagement. You can decide to rally your friends. There are gutters in your community neighborhood that need to be cleaned, and you just call 1 or 2 persons that please let's go and clean our community, and you take your pictures if possible and keep them because it's good to keep record. And before you know it, you are building your profile. I, for one, I did not need anybody to create any opportunity for me. I created them myself. So you can create your opportunities yourself, and you call 1 or 2 persons, but beware of naysayers. There are people you will talk to, they say, I cannot, it is not possible. I'm out, count me out. When you start seeing that, please run away from them, all right? Run away from them. Talk with people that have the light mind like you, and they are dreaming like you, and they are moving forward like you. So community engagement could be in, like you can go to a hospital, like you go and visit to give soap, give omo, anything you can think of, please. In as much as it will uplift a person or put a smile on the face of somebody, you've achieved. And your achievement may not be an award or winning an MTN award. He said a lot of things I don't want to go inside. Okay? So thank you so much, Ever Rise Foundation. That's the name of your foundation, Ever Rise Foundation. Please clap for them again, celebrate them. Thank you. Yes, I'm waiting for Joyce to come forward and for her to ready. Any other question before she comes, please? Any other question? Some people may be asking, are scholarship even available in secondary school? Say yes. Irregular Foundation Scholarship is provided to people who are in Form 5 or are in lower 6. What do I mean by that? If you are in Form 4 going to Form 5, you can apply and they will sponsor you in Form 5. If you are in Form 5 going to lower 6, you can apply and they will sponsor you in lower 6. And if you are in lower 6 going to upper 6, you can apply and they will sponsor you in upper 6. And the good thing about it, it is a community. You come and you meet people of like mind, people who are thinking differently, and people who are going far. Not we want to end on Mashiach. No, we are going beyond Entre de la Vie. We are going beyond. Are we together? At times we can even use a shortcut through Kamoko. Or is it Kameko? They will travel. So, Eureka Foundation is available for you who are in Form 4, Form 5, and lower 6. They will pay your fee. They will buy your textbooks. They will give you GC registration money if you're in an exam class and if you work hard. And then not only that, they will give you a mentor to assist you in your journey. Many of our scholars from Irega are now abroad studying on fully funded scholarship. I'm talking about Winston, who is in Vanderbilt College, less than 7% acceptance rate. I'm talking about Steve, who is in Swarthmore. I'm talking about Meviol, who is in Germany. I'm talking about Gina Ghana, who is in Ashesi. I'm talking about Rosita, who is in Carleton University in the US. And the list goes on and on. They sat like you are sitting here. Your case will not be different. Say amen. Are we ready? Yes. While she's preparing, next question, please. Any question? How? It's like we call the wrong people here. Let me say Anwar. It's like we brought the wrong people here. Ajong. Is Ajong right? You have any question? Can you imagine? Intelligent students, they have understood everything. Say amen. Listen, how many of you use ChatGPT? If you use ChatGPT and you don't ask any question, he will not say anything. And if you ask wrong questions, he'll give you wrong answers. If you ask wise questions, you'll be surprised what he will give you. So be hungry. Be thirsty to a level that you don't want anything but that scholarship. And how do I get there? That should be your enthusiasm. That should be, how could he get this? Is it that he was born in Bamenda? Or is it that he was born in... There is no problem where you were born at. And don't forget, there are no village people anywhere. We are in town. There are no village people anywhere. The only village people is you. There is no demon anywhere. The only demon is your blanket. Because if cold frap you, you will wake up and study. If you are hungry, you wake up and study. So the demon is your stomach. Because you only want to eat. Amen. Are we ready? Please put your hands together from Joyce Ngaha as she comes over to give you a session that you will not forget. I don't want to let the car out of the back, but it is Selu. I know that. So, Joyce, so glad to have you in Baptism. After your tight schedule, you decided to make it possible. We are blessed to have you. The stage is yours. God bless you.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Can we have more energy? By the way, I'm also an MC, so I don't like when it's quiet. The MC has the power to keep everyone up for the whole session, right? So let's do it with energy. Hello, everyone. I'm still not convinced. Let's try again. Hello, everyone. Oh my God. Can you try and do better? Hello, everyone. Oh, I love. I sent both the PPT and the PDF to them. All right, that's good. So, if someone answers a question, right, we clap for the person, and then there's this thing we normally do drum rolls with our feet, right? Let's try. Let's try. Okay, try and clap for our pastor here. Then, excellent. So when I feel like it's boring, that's what we'll do, right? Are we okay with that? Okay. Um, so while we wait for the slides to show up, I'll ask a series of questions, right? The first one, don't worry, I'm not going to be lecturing. The thing with me is that I ask a lot of questions, right? I really want to hear from you and see how we can help each other, right? So the first question I'll ask is, how many of you have ever felt like scholarships are for a certain type of people? Be honest, even me, I myself, maybe. Be honest. Can I see your hands up? You know, you guys are kingdom shakers. Let me see your hands up. Okay. Of those who have, can I have your hands up again, please? Okay. The lady with the green braids, the lady that is dressed just like me on the side, and one volunteer from here. On up before I come, because I know how to come to the audience. Let's get a volunteer from here. Okay, maybe bring a card while they are sharing. Can you please, let's start with the lady with the green braids. What type of people do you feel scholarships are for?
I thought scholarship was for those who are very intelligent and whose parents are very rich.
That I like that. That's very honest. There's no wrong answer when I ask a question, right? It's just us sharing opinion. That's what we're going to do for the entire session, right? I like that. Thank you so much. So you believe that it was for, or is it still for, still in the, do you still believe that now?
No,
So you still think that scholarships were for those who are very intelligent or who have really rich parents, right?
no for now. No for now.
Yeah, that's what I used to believe, right?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. Give the mic to anyone you want on that side of the hall. Choose.
Okay. The reason why I believe scholarship is meant for some people is because maybe those who are really brave, those who are, those who can speak well. I don't know. I just know it was certain people. That's why.
So you used to believe that scholarships were for those who could speak well or are brave. If I tell you I was an introvert, would you believe me?
No.
Okay. Okay, I like that. Okay, now to the lady wearing the Togo material as well. Thank you for your answer.
Good evening. I really believe that scholarship were for people that had not just the grades, but the some talents, hidden things that make them apart from the society. Like maybe you have an incredible memory or something. You can do other things than school. That's what I thought really.
So people, we're going back to kind of what you said. People were like really intelligent, like that.
Not just really intelligent, just like you're intelligent, but you can do other things that if one day school stops, just like that.
Like what?
Like maybe like dancing, football, sports, anything. I'm totally very low in those skills. Really, really, really.
Or wait, let me check some. All right. I like that answer. So I guess you're saying that besides being intelligent, these are people that were quite talented in other aspects of life, like extracurricular activities, right? That's nice. That's nice. Okay. Now, how many of you believe that um, scholarships could be for a student? Oh, it's still loading. Okay. How many of you believe that scholarships can be for students like yourself, or from, let's say, someone who was raised in Bamugum? Yeah, did I spell it like C? Like say it, okay? So, how many of you believe that I can be born in Bamugum, raised in Bamugum, only went to public schools, and still get a scholarship? Yeah, be honest, right? Don't be afraid to keep your hand down. Don't be afraid. It's okay. We all have biases, which is very normal. Can I see your hands like boldly? You believe that you can be raised in Bamungum, you were born in Bamungum, went to public schools, and you can still get a fully funded scholarship. Interesting, interesting. No, keep your hands up, please. Now the next exercise, right? Those who kept their hands down, I want to hear from you. No, keep your hands up, those with the hands up. Don't increase the hands up, please. We saw you already. Be honest. We're in the house of the Lord. Be honest. Right? So, I like your face. You're wearing red and black. Yes. You represent this side of those who kept their hands down. And this side, at the back there, with the leather jacket. I don't know if it's leather. You. Exactly. And then, on this side, who kept the hand down? The lady. I love pink. Pink is my favorite color, so it's you. Okay, let's start from this side now. So, why do you feel like the scenario I shared is not possible? No, be honest. Don't worry. I said there's no wrong answer. We're just being honest people here.
Okay, because I thought that these scholarship stuffs, yes, are for super intelligent students, not for students from poor backgrounds. Then students with good grades. Yes, that's all I thought.
All right, that's why you feel like if you went to public school in Bamungum,
No.
like, okay, okay. I get your point. I get your point. Thank you for that. The gentleman.
I never actually. Good day, everyone. My name is Bless Mulu. I didn't actually say your scenario was impossible, but rather I just did not raise your hand.
Okay, select someone whose hand was down, so we figured it out.
Good day, everyone. Well, I share the same opinion as her. Okay, that's my own reason. That I still actually believe that scholarships are for mega intelligent students.
Nice, nice. I like how things are going. All right. Um,
Good day, everyone. My name is Suli Kelisha. I believe that a student who was in Birmingham, school in Birmingham, did everything in Birmingham, cannot get a scholarship because I think Birmingham is it's a village, right? I thought scholarship were for people who are in town, this kind of stuff.
okay, you just feel like the exposure is not like really big, right? Okay. How many of you would believe that at the ordinary level, I only did 10 papers? That's like 30 points, right? I didn't have 25 points. How many of you believe that? That on third, I took 10 papers. I did not have up to 25 points at the ordinary level. How many of you believe that? Okay, even pastor is on it. Pastor doesn't believe it. Uh, okay, so one person believes that. Are you all serious? Okay, two. You believe. All right. That's actually the reality. I did not have up to 25 points at the ordinary level. Is it starting to make sense now? Okay. That is where I was getting to. Now, at the advanced level, I had the advanced level in 2017, right after the first full year of the Anglophone crisis, right? And then, how many of you believe that I did not have 20 points out of 25 in 5 papers? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow, if we are like 100 here, only 6 people, like 6% of this whole. Actually, that's the reality. I didn't even have 20 points on 25. So I did not have. No, I'm actually being very honest, right? I did not have up to 25 points on 30 at the ordinary level. And I did not have up to 20 points out of 25 at the advanced level. But guess what? How many of you know what the best university in the world is right now? Okay, so according to World Times higher ranking, the University of Oxford has been the best university in the world for the past 8 years. So this is the 9th year that they are winning. And I feel blessed and honored to tell you that I am a student at University of Oxford. So now, wait. We give thanks to God, right? Now let's go back. I did not have. All right. I did not have up to 25 points over 30. I did not have up to 20 points over 25. But I am the first female Mastercard Foundation scholar, the first Cameroonian that's female Mastercard Foundation scholar to study my program at Oxford. Now let's go back to the beginning. Now, how many of you believe, and I was born in Yaoundé, a very high density area. Do you know what a high density area is? No. Even in Bafoussam, a high density area is like a slum, like a place with a lot of population, where lots of people stay. They say people who are just, not ghetto exactly, but something close to that. A slum-like area of Yaoundé, very crowded, was bitten by, even though my skin doesn't show it, just forget about it, was bitten by mosquitoes, had marks growing up. I went to a public school. How many of you here I went through public schools? You see, went to a public school from Form 1 to Upper Seed. And I still made it to Oxford. So now, do you believe that? And by the way, I'm from the west region of Cameroon. Yes. That's why I was really excited when I was told that there's a program here, and I was like, wow. A few years back, someone didn't come to Yaoundé to share about what was happening in Bamenda. I would have known about it, right? So I decided to come here today. Now, the thing is, I'm not sharing this to encourage you. I'm sharing this to set the tone for what I'm going to share today, right? If my story can be that way, it means that someone from Bamungum, born in Bamungum, raised in Bamungum, good now, okay, can make it as well to secure a fully funded scholarship. How many of us now agree that's possible? And now, You know, now we agree. And then the next reason why I shared it is that I really don't want you to look at me like, because most times, even for my parents, when I say Oxford and they're sharing in the family, all of them are like the dictionary. The only way they knew Oxford was through the dictionary. So when they say Oxford, when my father wants to actually brag, he's like, do you people even know the Oxford dictionary? Yeah, where it was made, that's where she's going to. You get it? I want you to be able to relate to it, right? Like you can relate. It's not, they are not bringing people to you that are coming from Mars or from space. They are bringing people that were seated on seats like you someday. And I was not the kind of person that said that whatever they are doing up there, I'll do it someday. And that's how I'm finding myself here, right? So I was told the slides are ready. Can we please go to the first slide? All right, so my presentation is virtually going to be Breaking Barriers, Your Journey to Fully Funded Opportunities by Joyce Ngaha. Allow me to reintroduce myself. So besides being an Oxford scholar, I am a 2 times Mastercard Foundation scholar. So I had a scholarship to complete my undergraduate degree in laboratory medicine, and then graduated, worked for some time, and now I'm returning to school because I want to do what I was doing for 2 years on a bigger level. So if I was working with 12,000 people, now I want to work with 1 million people, right? That's why I'm moving to Oxford. And then I am also the founder of Safe Space. Safe Space is a youth mental health initiative. The pilot year was in Yaoundé, right? But now I'm expanding to other regions. It's basically like us sitting like this, 12 to 25 years old, and talking about the challenges that we have as young people, right? Talking about stress. You know, if you tell your father or mother that you're stressed, they'll ask you if you're paying school fees, right? Exactly. Yes. So we have a space where we are young like this and we talk about those things, the challenges that we face in school, bullying, harassment, how to use social media, dating relationships, and all of that, right? So I started it in 2024 and won about $10,000 to run the venture across Cameroon. Do you know how much 10,000 is? I don't know as well, I don't know. I just remember that there were not like lots of cute zeros at the back of the award when it came in France CFA. But that's it. I'm also a social entrepreneur. Social entrepreneur means that I do entrepreneurship, but then it's for a cause, right? So because I am running a non-for-profit, I am having something like a shop that is running in Yaoundé that helps to sponsor our activities because I don't want to forever depend on funding or people giving me money, right? I should be able to produce money that I can use to fund my activities, right? So that's how we sustain what we are doing. And you can read about the rest on LinkedIn. Yeah, I think it's better that way. So, why Oxford? I already told you. Best university in the world for the past 9 years, and I'm hoping that next year we make it to the 10th year, right? And we can celebrate even in Bafoussam if you guys are available. Yeah. And then I mentioned being a Mastercard Foundation scholar, right, 2 times. So the Mastercard Foundation is one of the largest philanthropic organizations that we have worldwide that's deeply committed to advancing education and financial inclusion, particularly across Africans. So they really focus on funding Africans like you and me, right? And then they also do that for indigenous communities in Canada. But the focus is African. So you're not seeing a European telling you that he secured a Mastercard Foundation unless he has dual nationality. You know you can be Korean and you can be Cameroonian, right? I don't know how you mix that, Cameroon or Korea. I don't know. But it's possible, right? So they do that, and they're worldwide, they are the biggest funders of Africans, right? And then in 2022, go back to the first slide. The first one with the picture. Yes. So that picture, I'm not sure it's clear for you guys, but there is a guy with a black suit in the middle, right? Yes. That's the president of the board of the Mastercard Foundation. So we were in, I often tell people when they ask me abroad, what am I say I'm a citizen of heaven, right? But then I'm also a global citizen. I've been to over 10 countries, and then I've never had to pay my money, not even 1 franc, nothing. It's been the Lord's doing through these people. Over 10, and I'm on a good track to do 30 under 30, because 30, yeah. So if you look at the black man, I'm the second person on his right. And we were, sir. And then, yeah, we were in Kigali at the Baobab Summit, right? And from this summit, that's where I actually got inspired to start Safe Space and all those things, because the MasterCard has a goal of empowering 100,000 Africans by 2032. This was in 2022, and we're kind of trying to shape the future of education in the next 10 years with the MasterCard. And one thing they said that actually pushed me to come here was that the president said they cannot come to every single country of the world and get all the excellent or talented students that we have there, right? So they use us to reach out and preach the gospel of scholarship, which is what I'm doing today. So I'm just tapping from that and sharing it to you guys, right? Because someone also shared it to me. So on my right, on that picture is Clement. In fact, all those people you see on that picture are all Open Dream scholars from different universities in the world that we met in Kigali for the Baobab Summit. You have Clement Gosong just after me. Clement is currently somewhere in the world right now, somewhere in Asia. Yeah, excellent. So Clement is somewhere in Asia right now. Then you have Blessing. I think Blessing is one of the speakers for this. Excellent, that's Blessing. So you'll be meeting her tomorrow. And then who else there? Yeah, the others are somewhere. Elishama is going to the University of Cambridge. He's coming from AUB and he's moving to UK. AUB is in Lebanon. So now he's moving to Cambridge as a MasterCard Foundation scholar as well. And he was also a MasterCard at AUB. See, if you start MasterCard, there are likely chances that you keep getting MasterCard. I'm not saying it's automatic. It might just happen. All right. And then the third slide. Okay. So virtually this is what I was sharing from where I started. I grew up in a high-density area of Yaoundé. Faced the typical challenges that most of you would face, just so you know that we were the same people, right? Poor infrastructure, potholes. Okay, you guys in Bafoussam, you have nice roads. In Yaoundé, the roads are not so good. I have to be honest. And I've been running a project in Douala for the last 3 weeks, so I've been traveling in and out of Douala. The roads are not good, right? So when I'm saying potholes now, I'm not sure you can relate. Okay, wow, that's nice. You guys could relate, right? And then limited opportunities like all of you, and all of that is what shaped what mattered to me most. So virtually, the basis of what I'm doing right now in the medical field is this. You know how some days you have to stay home because you fall sick. And why was I falling sick? The potholes we were having, after the rain, water will accumulate in there, right? Stagnant water is a breeding ground for you guys are very smart. And then those mosquitoes end where? In our houses. And I often fell sick because of that. And then, well, my family had the means to maybe send me to the hospital or, have the malaria cure, the malaria medication and all of that, right? But there were other young people that were dying because they were really poor, right? And then that shaped what mattered to me. I grew up telling myself, oh, well, I don't enjoy being sick. No one enjoys being sick, right? Yeah, no one enjoys being sick. And I was like, well, I could just eventually spend my life making sure that people do not get to fall sick, right? And that brings us to, okay, before I ask you to do this, I would say I always believed I could achieve my goals beyond my circumstances. So we all get allowance from those who have guardians or parents, right? Because most of us here, I was told you're in high school or you're leaving high school, right? We all get allowances. So I used to just use my allowance and spend my time in cyber cafes, right? Because by then I did not have a lot of money to be sponsoring internet on my phone. So I used to spend my time in cyber cafes, and that's how I used to go through scholarship opportunities online. And I was applying and I was not getting them. And it was very frustrating until some time after I stopped. Then when I stopped applying, I figured out that I needed support, right, to help me secure whatever I wanted to secure to study abroad. And then this young woman came to our government bilingual high school in Yaoundé. I was in class and she said she was from Open Dreams. And then, well, I got captivated, especially when they started talking about scholarships, because I knew that if we are 100 here, if Pastor did not speak about, or Mr. Angolefa didn't speak about scholarships initially, lots of you will not be here, right? Yeah, right? Yeah, let's be honest. I told you I work with facts. So she spoke, people in class were making noise while she was speaking. And then she said scholarship, and now everyone is like, it's like you're now starting to talk. And then she's like, she's from this organization, they are helping high achieving low income students, because we'll be honest, most of those in the public schools are, they might be high achieving, but they are low income. Now everything was going on well. I was getting excited until the vice principal came in and said, oh well, it's only for the top 5 of the class. And I was like, I'm not even in the top 5. Danger. But that didn't discourage me. When the vice principal left and the lady left, I waited for the class to finish. So I followed the lady without telling the vice principal. In this life, if you give up, say it better, if you give up, I could have given up when they said that, the top 5, right? But I knew what I wanted. So I followed the lady on the side. And then I told her, I'm interested. Might not be in the top 5, but I'm interested about what she said. And she was telling me that she was transitioning from being by then she was the country director of Open Dreams before Sir Akaba came back, right? And she was also the curator of the Global Shapers Hub of Yaoundé. In fact, she was the country head for Cameroon. So everything about her was inspiring to me, and I was like, I want to stay connected with you. What did I do? I followed her. So remember at the beginning, I remember what Sir did. He asked you to stand up and interact with each other, right? You don't know who is who. Some people are sitting here. Maybe they have visas in their pockets. So try and know who is who. You know, maybe we have the future president of the country here. Don't sit down here and tell yourself, it's like all of them, we are same. We are not same. Even these 5 fingers, they are not same. So when he's giving instructions, do that, right? Obedience is better than, I like that. Those who are going to Sunday school, we're kind of finding you guys. So virtually, I reached out to her, and she was like, she's about to step down as the country director of Open Dreams. But there is Mr. Akaba James, and she will connect both of us. And then after some point, they tell me, oh, it's somewhere in Bamenda. I'm like, blood of Jesus. I've never been to Bamenda. I don't even know where they take transport to go to Bamenda. But I was like, I can feel it within me that I'm not going to study here. So I took the number, and I started, reaching out to him. I was chatting with Surakaba, and he was very excited. Because of all the people that he has spoke to, even the top 5 of class, none of them followed up. None of them did what? So you see, you can have grades, but pride would stop you from pushing for opportunities, right? Of all that class, we're like almost 100 in that class. And they went for the top 5. And still, that did not convince them strong enough to go and push for it. It is someone amongst the top 10. Because, oh well, it's true I told you that I did not make those points, but I was very intelligent. Maintaining top 3. It's just that when they said Anglophone crisis, people started saying, they will not even mark our paper. I started feeling very relaxed about it. I'm like, maybe they are even going to burn our exam sheet, so I don't need to put in effort. So even those points I didn't get doesn't mean I did not still pass kind of well, right? It's just I did not make it to 20 because I was chilled. And I was chilled, but I had those results, and other things happened. I mean, I lost someone that was close and all of that, right? But yeah, it's story for another time. So, Sir Akaba reached out to me a couple of times after, and he was like, are you able to travel to Baminda? I'm like, yes. I'm saying yes, I don't know the road to Baminda. I was just like, for now, we're just going to agree. I need the scholarships. I said yes. He's like, can you make it to Monday? I think it was even Saturday like that. He's like, can you come on Baminda? I was like, sir, wait. Just relax a little bit. I'll come to Baminda, but I need to prepare. I lost my grandmother and all of that, right? After that, I'll travel. And he told me when the summer academy was starting, right? So by then, when I went to my parents, and then I told my dad that I want to travel to Baminda, he was like, to go and see who there. You don't have any family member there or anything. I was like, I just know that when I go there, something good is going to come out of it. And my father, he was murmuring like that, but then I was like, Mom, go and convince your husband. I mean, she did her charm and it worked. My father gave me the money. And then when he gave me the money, he was like, I'm not so sure what you're going to do, but I believe in you. So I wish you all the best. And that's how I carried my things. I went, they told me there was one company called Amumezam somewhere in BMRC there. Took a buy, I said, BMRC Amumezam. And that's how I find myself in Baminda. Now, in my mind, when I was going to Baminda, as I stepped there, scholarship is sure. By the time September comes, I'm flying out of the country, you know, and I'll be sending you people pictures, social media, I'll deal with all of you. And then things started getting really, really cloudy for me when I get to the summer academy, and then they are like, you guys are 30 from all over the country. I was the only person from Yaoundé. It's like, you guys are 30 here, but we are only going to be able to sponsor 4 or 5 of you. I'm like, hey. My hair was not disappointment because I saw we were 30. The problem was the quality of the 30 people in the room with me. These are people who had 25 straight points, 25, 25. You know, when we're in class sometimes chatting, introducing ourselves, someone will speak. There's this guy we're calling the philosopher. Everyone looked like a genius. I used to think I was intelligent. When I got in there, I met people and I was quiet. I used to talk in class boldly. I was teaching further maths and maths to my friends. But I got there, I was quiet. I was humbled. And I was like, I'm supposed to make it amongst the top 4 in this kind of environment. Anyways, I told my father I'm going abroad, so we will stay. And then what they did is every week, all of you know about the TOEFL? Yeah, you know about the TOEFL? So the TOEFL and the SAT, Scholastic Aptitude Test. SAT has math, it has English, biology, and all. It's like what Americans take before they can like access the common app and all of that. I'm sure you will learn about that over time, right? So they were like, every week they'll give us like mock exams like that. And then we'll write, and then they'll publish the scores. So that every week you know your position in the race to get to the top 4. Funnily, I was in the top. And at the end of summer academy, I emerged amongst the top 4. Because I was like, I mean, I represent all of Yaoundé. If I fail, I'll go back with shame because I already told people I'm going abroad. Right? So eventually at the end, I emerged amongst the top 4. And what they used to do by then is that they would pay for your TOEFL, pay for your SAT, pay for everything that has to do with travel. Because by then, the TOEFL centers in Yaoundé were full, so we had to go to Douala. So Sir James would travel with us to Douala, pay for accommodation, feeding, everything at the hotel. Make sure we take the exam and ensure that we come back to Yaoundé safely. In the course of that, guys, Yaoundé is not a safe place. I'm not going to hide it. When I was coming back from the TOEFL, my phone was, how do you guys call it? The real owner took it. Yes. So the real owner connected his thing. Unfortunately, all my essays, everything had worked hard on were in that phone. So you can imagine how crushed I was. Now, God has a way of doing things. Open Dreams, like when I said they fully invested on the 4 or 5 people, it means that they gave in everything. So we were paired with mentors abroad, people that we had never met before, besides virtually. I reached out to my mentor, was following up on me. This woman was reaching out to me. She would not just ask me about my aces. She was living in Luxembourg by then. She would not just ask me about my aces. She would ask me, how's my family doing? Is there anything that emotionally might be stressing me? You know, that can affect my application process. And I was like, this is interesting. So I reached out to her someday. I'm like, my phone was stolen in Yaoundé, and I feel crushed about it. She's like, how much is the phone? I'm like, phones are expensive. And she's like, how much is the phone? I said it. This woman sent money through Sir James so I could get a new phone. You see the power of mentorship and kindness. This is someone who had never met me, but she just believed in she was just believing in what I could become and what I could achieve. And she got me a new phone just like that. And then, fast forward, the SAT results came out, and a lady and myself had the highest score in the country, right? You see, I told you, so don't focus yourself on ordinary level and A level and tell yourself that I put in the work after, and even in between, I was working a lot hard. So we had the highest scores, and the blessed boomer he spoke about later decided to give us 20,000 francs each for making it to the top. If I tell you that I was struggling to put data or go and pay for 100 at the cyber cafe to spend an hour, you know what 20,000 francs means for me at that time? I hadn't even met him by then. It was only like video calls like that. But he reached out to me. He's like, I'm so proud of you. You are making the country proud, putting the country on the map. I'm like, for this small score, I'm making 20K. You know, I got boosted. You know, that's what they call unconscious boosting. I'm like, I'm making 20K from this small score. Because for me, I felt like I could do better, right? I was just happy. I'm the first year, but I always believe there's more you can do, right? And virtually, that's how I got into Open Dreams. And then a year later, I got nominated by Open Dreams into the MasterCard Foundation. They started like a sponsorship between the MasterCard and African Leadership Academy. You know about it? Yeah, ALA in South Africa. So it was like an indirect sponsorship. A high achieving low income nominates you, and then the MasterCard sponsors you and they select your school. You just reach out to them and tell them what you want to study, which is what I did. And I got full funding. I'm sure there's a slide where I'm going to tell you, it's not here. So full funding looks like, I think Mr. Neba mentioned, if you reach out to the MasterCard, that's how the MasterCard is. And that's why I'm focusing on the MasterCard, because I've won other stuff, right? But I'm focused on the MasterCard today. If you tell them that you don't have a suitcase that you take to the airport, they will pay for it. If you tell them that where you live in Yaoundé like that, you know, it's in some suburb, you need to take a bike or whatever, they will pay for it. If you tell them you don't have a passport, I didn't have a passport by then, they paid for it. Paid for visa fees. Every single thing that the embassy was reaching out to me to ask me to do, they were paying for it, right? And I was like, so from that time that I got into the MasterCard Foundation, they took care of me all the way until I left. So my parents did not have to spend. I was no longer, African parents are also funny. When they see you start having small money, if they stop giving you allowance, it just disappears, right? Don't show this part to my mom. I don't want trouble. But then, it's something that's good, right? I started thinking about ways of even giving back, reaching out to others, investing back maybe into Open Dreams and stuff like that. And the Lord has been faithful ever since, because until now, I've never struggled. I kept being taken care of and all of that. And so the next thing, to that slide, let's go back to that slide. Okay, so remember I said that what made me to decide to venture into the medical space is my lived experience. That's why I started by sharing to you my lived experience and how we could relate. So I want you guys, for 2 minutes, turn to your neighbor. You know, this is how we push you people to talk and connect. Turn to your neighbor. You guys, someone is like, Turn to your neighbor. Maybe you've never spoken. It's your chance. Turn to your neighbor. I'm not even talking about sir. I'm talking about you. Turn to your neighbor. Hi, neighbor. Interesting. Okay. I want you to think of a challenge that you experienced growing up, because I know if I ask you what do you dream to achieve, I'll hear doctor, teacher, engineer, and all of that. But I want to help you connect it to something you've grown, and that's how you're going to be writing your essays. I'm sure he has shared everything has to be shared about AC, but I just want you to be able to connect, your passion and your purpose, and how to be able to brand it to people, right? How to sell your story. I told you where I started and how it connected to what I am doing. So think about, I don't know, maybe you were a victim of, those people who snatch phones. And you got encouraged through it you want to aspire to become a police officer, right? That's what I want you to talk about with your neighbor. Your neighbor that you don't like, but you learn to like now. Yes. So you only have 2 minutes. Quickly. You share your own challenge to your neighbor. 1 minute, your neighbor does the same. And you connect it to what you wish to become. And no one should use my story about potholes. It's a lie. Yeah, I was a student. In fact, I'm still a student, so I know. No one should use my story about potholes. So I will start my timer now. Talk to your neighbor. Nobody should stay and say, I don't have a neighbor. I am watching. Neighbor. Talk to your neighbor. You have 1 minute each to share. What? Talk to your neighbor. It really doesn't matter if you're in high school. When I was in high school, I knew what I wanted to become. One minute, 30 seconds. So the first neighbor should be wrapping up. How many minutes do I have left?
No. How much time can you use?
So I want to know from you so I can.
Because Moses has not come.
Okay.
And I tried to.
All right. 30 seconds left.
And that is why I said at the very beginning that don't sit with someone you are used to, with someone you know. Sit with your enemy if possible, so that moment like this you will release out what is needed to be released. So thank you.
15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Time up. How do we come back to order? Excellent, excellent. Where do we start? Those people that were looking at their neighbors, so funny. Looking at their, okay, For the first round, let me allow people to volunteer, every team. Another thing is, you can have the saddest story ever that can actually move admission officers. But if you cannot sell yourself, no one will ever hear about it, and you end up not getting the opportunities that you actually deserve, right? So take a chance in this kind of events, right? And be bold and speak. Open up. When you speak, you place yourself on the spotlight. You don't know who is watching your videos, right? I often post about things like this on my social media. And the admission officers at these schools might see you. Because I told you I've been to a couple of countries. And I'm on social media, and those people are watching. So they might just see this person was speaking, what's her name, what's her profile. And when you introduce yourself, speak with boldness. I am ABC. And now you share. Always make sure that when you are in a room and you leave, there is one thing about you that people have retained. What did I say? Make sure everywhere you are, no matter where you pass, make sure that these people, there is one thing they remember about you that makes them keep your name in mind. It will take you places. So now let's get volunteers. Let's see those who are eager to get the scholarships quickly. Okay. See, that's what they call the kingdom of God. Suffer it. And it's the violence who do what? Okay. Wait, let's start with him here. Where's your neighbor? Okay, both of you. So one person stands, introduces themselves, and the next person. Like that.
My name is Chi Promise Awa.
Sorry?
My name is Chi Promise Awa.
Okay.
I'm going to Upper Seed. And the experience I shared with my neighbor concerns with the difficulties I saw with health in my village. So from Bamenda, came here to Buddha because of crisis. So when I usually go back to the village, I realize that the village has become very empty. And with my grandmother that we live together, with the little work, and since they are very old, with the little work they do, they are very tired, they get sick, and even when we go out for work, realize that people don't get help because they don't have the finances to sponsor themselves in the hospitals. And then you go to the hospital. For example, I went to my uncle who had the hospital, asked him to show me the list of those who are owing in the hospital. He showed me the list of many patients that they are owing the hospital, not because they don't have the money to pay, but not because they don't have the money to pay, and they finally have to run out of the hospitals because they don't have money to pay. And with what I saw, the problem of health there is very challenging. And looking at also the grandparents, all the youths have left. With the little work they do, they get very tired and very sick. So what I really wanted to do was like to get a scholarship, study hard, come out with some medicines, things that could help these people, these old people.
So you want to venture into pharmacy?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then help these people, and then also gain access, and then help these hospitals to sponsor people to treat people for free, because many of them die because they don't have the finances to go to the hospital, surgeries, and they finally die.
All right, that's good. Thank you for sharing that. You can give the mic to your neighbor. And before the neighbor takes over, what he did was good, right? But another thing I'll tell you when you're sharing your story or you're pitching about yourself, right? Put in mind that someone that might be interested in you only has 1 minute of attention span because they are very busy people. Remember, Mr. Ambe spoke about people investing 40 million. When he's talking about applications, it's not like some of them take hours and hours. No, it's like the CV. CVs are not over 1 page unless you did research. So even if you went and won the world championship, you should be able to compress it in one just 1 page, as long as you're an undergraduate, right? So you should be able to pitch yourself in 1 minute, say one sentence, like what's the problem and what's the solution. Your like old age, people not being able to afford for care. What's your solution? Studying pharmacy and coming up with a solution through that, right? That's just how every other person that's going to share should do. Just think about pitching yourself in 1 minute. Those are skills you are learning. Neighbor, over to you. Don't be stressed, neighbor. But you have 1 minute, neighbor.
Hello to everyone. My own problem is the crisis in Bamenda because I'm a victim of not going to school for a year because of the crisis in Bamenda. So for me, I'm worried because there are many children there that they are disturbed even though they are old in school. But there are younger children in school that are more intelligent than them, even though they are older than them. So my focus is maybe to stop this, even though it's still continuous. But I want this to stop, not
By doing what?
like by encouraging.
Like what career, what profession? Do you want to do peace building, conflict resolution? It should be clear.
Yes.
I told you one statement. So what do you want to study?
Yes, the conflict resolution.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
It should not come from me. So that's why I gave you guys time. Think about it very easy, in a very simple and easy way. And you share it. That's what they will capture.
To resolve the problem in our country.
All right. So you want to study conflict resolution because of your life experience as a victim of the crisis or someone who experienced displacement. Excellent. Thank you, neighbor. So we'll do something. Very soon you guys are going to go for break to eat, right? We all need food. Yes. So those who wish to volunteer and share, but remember, don't share the entire background. Tell yourself, I have 1 minute to make sure this woman remember. I don't easily remember names. But tell yourself that I have 1 minute to make sure that this person remembers my name. Right? Good. 1 minute. And make it clear. I want to help children have access to education by studying what and becoming what. That's it. Very simple, right? So you can reach out to, who was having the mics? Okay, let's proceed first. So that we have time to eat. We have to eat at 3 p.m. After we eat, we come back, right? So just let him know if you want to share. Not more than 4 people, right? All right, let's hear from, okay, no, I want to change it. I want to hear what your neighbor thinks and your neighbor also share what you shared with him. That's how I'll know you spoke with your neighbors. Just register, please, time. Just register, we'll talk about it. I don't forget the things I say, I will speak about. Next slide. This is very important. Slide number, what's this? 5. Slide. We'll continue pair and share it. Don't worry. We just need you guys to eat first. Okay. So your background does not equate to your destiny. All right. And then the key message here is your background is not your starting point, right? It's your starting point. It's not your limit. I once read a meme. You guys know what memes are, right? Yeah. And someone said, before the age of 30, if your parents failed, it's still their fault if you are facing challenges. But after 30, you are the problem. Right? Your background is your starting point. It should not define how high you can fly. It's not because I was raised in a high density, I told myself I can never work at the NASA. You guys know what the NASA is? Yes. I actually used to want to be a pilot, and my father actually trained me to be an engineer. It's just like I got to opposite and I was like, I think medicine is my thing. He was not happy, but I thank God my kid sister is in the National Engineering School. So at least he has one person to fulfill that dream, because I was very good. I remember telling you I was teaching people maths and further maths, right? While in high school. I always told myself that I could be. In fact, I had plan A, plan B, plan C. Plan A was medicine. Plan B, engineering. Who could guess plan C? We are not all called to be teachers. Engineering and piloting was all the same in plan B. Who can guess what part C is? Huh? It's like someone said it. It starts with a P.